Hello and welcome to Startline, brought to you by the Manx Motorcycle Club. I'm Beth Espy and this podcast is about everything road racing, both on the Isle of Man and further afield. From the races and the teams to the organisers and officials, it is all here on Startline. Well, thank you so much as ever for downloading this episode of Startline. And today we are going to meet another Manx Grand Prix 2026 newcomer. This is Isle of Man rider Kyle Casement. And for Kyle, I think it's fair to say bikes have always been part of the family. So he grew up racing motocross, he travelled to British Championship events, and he spent countless hours watching the TT from the hedges. But actually, it was only 5 years ago that he first tried road racing after his cousin, someone you may have heard of, booked him into race school without really giving him very much choice in the matter. And now, as I say, Kyle is preparing to take the biggest step of his racing life so far and make his debut at the MGP. In this episode then, he talks about the excitement, the nerves, the occasional sleepless nights as the event draws closer, the family, the friends, the sponsors helping him reach the start line, and also the challenge of balancing racing with running the business that helps pay for it all. And really for now, Kyle's ambitions are simple. Learn, enjoy every moment and return with a smile on his face. But as we'll hear, beyond the MGP, another dream may already be beginning to take shape. So this is Kyle Casement's story.
Hi, I'm Kyle Casement. I'm from Onken, the Isle of Man. Started out with free motocross and one thing after another. A few years later, we're here at Manx Grand Prix.
And you know, we were just saying, Kyle, like time just marches on. And I guess it's one of those things that you decide to do it, and it must seem like such a long way in the distance. And now here we are, less than a month to go. If I don't want to scare you, obviously by the time this goes out, it'll be even closer. Can you put into words how that feels?
I can tell you one thing, the sleepless nights are starting. Definitely having a few funky dreams, but yeah, it's, as I was saying, I think I looked before, it was 26 days and I'm like, oh crap, here we go. Things are all starting to come together, all the plans. Done my last derby at the weekend there and now I've dropped the bikes down to Age Yard, get them ready and just sort of, I think a few weeks time and we'll literally be getting the truck up there and ready to go.
So you mentioned, obviously, you grew up, or you live in Onken at the moment. Are you a sort of Manx born?
Yeah, Manx born and bred. Yeah, whole 29 years of it.
And at what point then did bikes become a big fixture in your life?
Bikes are in the family. Grew up and I never got a football put in front of me. I got an LT50 put in front of me. But yeah, my mum raced motocross up until she was about 15. My dad raced motocross from when he was 15 on. And yeah, as a family, we're a very motocross based family. Like, so my cousin who was speaking outside, Ryan and Jamie, they're my first cousins, and we raced through motocross. We went away racing motocross, and yeah, up until I think it was 5 years ago. Come up my Facebook there the other day. I started riding a road bike. I'd always been off road, and I fancied having a go with that. And yeah, here we are. I never thought I'd be going down Bray Hill at the start, but once the bikes started coming on and I started enjoying it, and then having friends here doing the race, that was it. It gripped me, and I thought, I want to go with that.
When your family's sort of been more motocross orientated, how have they taken to this side of things?
I'd say I've got a scared mum, and my dad wasn't too happy about it. He told me no, I'm not doing it, but at the end of the day, I'm my own man now, so yeah, I think he's on board with it now and supportive of it. But yeah, he wasn't too impressed the first time round. But hey, we've got to make our own paths, haven't we?
It's such a similar story, Kyle, isn't it? I think a lot of people, because there is a lot of fear associated with it naturally, but the vast majority of people do this sport and they do it for a number of years and they do it really well. And I just think, if you've got that sort of interest growing up here on the Isle of Man, you can't escape it.
No, you can't hide it. At the end of the day, from even growing up and getting out, I've never missed watching TT. I've always been on the hedge, and then you grow up with your friends, and then, as I say, my cousins then racing, so you'd end up over the hedge waving them on. And then coming from the bike side of things, when you start understanding what's going on behind the helmet, you get more intrigued, and yeah, there's just no hiding from it. I mean, when you sit there in the day like today, you can't beat the place. What better to be doing than flying around the Manx roads?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm saying absolutely. I'd rather eat my own head. You just mentioned, obviously, your cousins there, sort of Ryan and Jamie Kringle, who are just outside. Have they been giving you a lot of pointers about this?
Yeah, they have. Ryan's been very good with it. Well, Ryan was the big one that got me into the road racing, to be honest with you. I've tried all sorts of different sports, to be honest with you, as long as it's got an engine. And it was funny. I popped up to a Derby meeting, one thing after another at a kart race, and I was doing a bit of digging with Ryan, and he rang me up on Monday, said, "Hey, guess what? I booked you in for race school." I was like, "You bastard." You might have to edit that out. I was like, "You bugger." So long and short of it, I went and done the race school. I borrowed a bike off him to go and do the race school. And I was like, all right, that's it. Here we go. So, like I say, it was this time of year, 5 years ago, I'd done my first race. And as I say, them two have been there. Ryan and Jamie have been there the whole time of any advice to lean on, because they've been doing it a fair chunk longer than myself. So yeah, so especially coming round, Ryan and Jamie being a big help. But I mean, they've both gone above the 127 mark. I think Ryan's still the 5th fastest newcomer around here. So I mean, he's good. I've been out in the van with him. Amy's offered to take me out, so I need to get out of him. Like some Mikey Evans as well. He's another one that's a good friend of mine. That's often to take me out, so I've got real good support. Yeah, I mean, we've gone from competing against each other through the motocross days to competing on the road race track, to then now it's sort of off down Bray Hill, and they've all been good support. I couldn't really ask for much better, to be honest.
And I think there's real community within that road racing paddock. When we hear about it all the time, there's just so much support. And obviously, naturally, there's going to be an element of competition still, because that's just the nature of it. But people genuinely do seem to want other people to do well. And particularly, I guess, if it's sort of a family member as well, they want to try and make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, I'd like to hope so. Like, if everyday conversation ends up leaning into it, and it's even, I know I haven't been down the hill yet, and it will all start coming more apparent in 3 weeks, 4 weeks time. But yeah, it's nice to have the support from them.
And in terms of sort of questions that you've had about it, because I guess it's one thing thinking, you've watched people go around, but actually doing it yourself, there's going to be so many unknowns, I suppose. And I was just wondering what sort of questions you've got about it, what it is you're wondering about.
I think I've pulled as much as I can out of them up to now, of going around, getting your lines dialed and where you need to be on the road and stuff. But I think as soon as I relate to the track properly on the bike, that's when the real questions will start. So I don't, in that honest question, I don't know what to really expect as of yet. I've done as much homework as I can. It's just, I think it'll all start coming together after that first lap.
And some people will think naturally you've got a bit of an advantage because you live over here. I mean, you ride these roads, most days, certainly part of the course most days. How different is it, though, when you're thinking about that closed road mentality?
I think it'll be a fair bit different. In all honesty, it's all good going around in the car on the left-hand side of the road, but the road's going to soon open up when you're on the opposite side of the road. You can't drive through the bottom of Bray Hill on the right-hand side of the road every day, can you? I think the layout of the track won't change, but I think it'll start looking a bit different when you're on the wrong side of the road, the right side of the road. Yeah, definitely something I'm looking forward to finding out. You
will never be able to drive the mountain course in the same way again, will you?
No, I won't. I don't know if I probably should say this. I was out doing a lap the other night, just cruising my way around, and I got to Ramsey, and I had some blues and twos up behind me trying to offer me some points on my license. So no, you can't do that.
Have you been using things like the game? People talk about that being really handy.
In all honesty, I'm clean useless on it. I actually went out and bought a console for it and went and bought the game. I try to do it every now and then. I end up getting so frustrated on it. But now, after the newcomers weekend, going out with the boys, even that relating to playing the game, it's so much more relatable. It's coming at a faster speed. I'm just not very good at it. So I tend to flick a onboard on if I'm riding Swift or on the turbo trainer, or go out of an evening and take a drive out. I try to do it that sort of way than playing the PlayStation. It's not my type of thing.
And do you know every corner, would you say? Some people are really particular about having to know all the names.
I wouldn't say all the names. I know I could sit there and visualize a lap in my head of all the corners, but sometimes people will mention a name and I'm is that the one before here? So yeah, I'd say I'd like to think I've done my homework now, so it's all tell from there. But at the end of the day, it's all just going out and having good fun, isn't it? I'm not expecting anything big. I just want to go have fun, and if you're having fun, it'll come too.
And I think that's important, isn't it? Because some people will have an expectation of themselves for that first time, but then others think that, certainly the first couple of years is just about learning the experience, and then sort of building it from there.
Yeah, 100%. I think you'd be silly to start pushing within the first 3 years of doing it. It's from speaking to people, just take it one step at a time. And I was actually speaking to Miggy there the other day, and he said, just do one thing, just go and enjoy it. He said, if there's anything I could go back and do as my first Manx Grand Prix, he said, it was the best thing I've ever done, the best. He said, just embrace it. He says, I wish I could have embraced it more.
And that's what so many people say, you will never be a newcomer on the mountain course again.
Oh, definitely not. I'll hopefully be there for a little while as well.
And what do you reckon little Kyle, who was doing all the motocross things, would make of what you're doing?
Probably think he's an idiot, to be honest with you. No, like I say, it never sort of dawned on me when I was little to do it. I grew up watching them, and I thought they were crazy. But more once I transitioned onto the road bike, it became relatable, and I thought, I want to go at that. I got the itch of it, and I think from the background of motocross, it brought over. You go around the course, there is jumps, there is bumps and stuff like that, and it's a bit of a cross between the two. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And would you say that you are a naturally competitive person? Is that what drives you in it, or is it a love of speed?
Yeah, I'd say I've definitely got the competitive side in me. I do like speed as well. I don't know. I wouldn't go and jump in my car and go flat out across the mountain road. It wouldn't be. It's got to be on a bike and in control. But yeah, I do like speed, and I've got a competitive side. And to be honest with you, it's all I really know. Like, fortunately, I never got a football put in front of me. It was always a motorbike. I think I was probably 3 when I got a motorbike put in front of me. I got a little quad, and then when you started racing, you had to be 6. So I was always a day license. I was 5 at the time, and you were told you're 6 on a Sunday, and yeah, that's how a lot of us grew up. And yeah, so we started racing from there.
I suppose when you have an interest like that, doing normal boring things like school must be a challenge sometimes.
Yeah, I can't say I was a great school kid, to be honest with you. I just wanted more get on with it, get riding my bike, or even get to work after school to fund them sort of things. Yeah, unless it's got an engine, my head's elsewhere.
And so did you have to learn about the funding side of it and suppose the worth of money at quite a young age?
To be honest with you, I was fortunate. My dad used to work very hard, so I got a great upbringing of going away and racing British motocross championships and stuff like that. So I had seen a hell of a lot by the time I was sort of 16, 17, but I don't think I realised how much he put into it and the value of a pound until I started putting it out of my own pocket and going to work and realising, Jesus, that's how your entry in this, you start I was an apprentice electrician originally, and you're getting £100 a week, and you go and pick your entry on a Sunday was £40, another 20 quid in fuel and what have you, and it soon worked out, Jesus, they're putting a lot to you, and that's not buying the bikes and stuff. So yeah, I think now, especially the build up to the Manx, buying the bike and everything else, you soon realise how much a pound's worth.
And I guess it must mean a lot to you though, seeing how much was invested in you.
100%. I'll always be grateful for that. And I think obviously he would always go back and do that again, and he enjoyed that side of things that he got to live it with us. But yeah, I think, I'm incredibly grateful for me when mum and dad done bringing up.
And if you sort of look back over that before you sort of started on the road racing journey, what's the main highlight? What's the thing that really stands out, something that you are really proud that you achieved?
Couldn't really pinpoint something in particular. I'm trying to think, it was quite a long time ago now. There's nothing that really stands out, but it was a great time going, doing Western Beach Race, to British Championship stuff, even a bit of arena cross when I was younger. To have the opportunity to do that, and most kids would kill for that. And I come from a working class family. My dad's a builder, my mum worked in an office, but they gave everything to it. So to be honest with it, as a whole, I'm lucky I had the opportunity to have a go at everything.
And you left school then. Did you know what you wanted to do work-wise?
I didn't. I'm quite practical with my hands, and I didn't really know what to do. Everyone leaves school, get a trade. And I actually went and become a qualified electrician. I'd done 8 years of that. And then I ended up here.
BVS vehicles?
Yeah, BVS vehicles. So it's myself and my partner Max. Along and short of it, I just started selling a few vehicles on the side to fund my racing. And another 6-7 years later, here we are. We've got a service centre, we've got a sales business here, and ultimately that's what funds my bikes, and it is all self-funded. And yeah, I've got a couple of sponsors along the line for this year, which is a first for me. But yeah, definitely it was from electrician to a car salesman. It's been a bit of a jump.
But in terms of having your own business, I suppose it could be a help and a hindrance in terms of going out and doing your racing, because obviously if you're not here, you're not working, you've still got that sort of business responsibilities, haven't you?
I think it pulls me back from the racing, in all honesty. It's just impossible to juggle everything. I'd say ultimately, yes, it funds the racing, and now I fortunately can buy my bikes and afford to go racing, which without the business I wouldn't be able to do that. But also there's that many hours trapped up in here. I would like to go away racing a bit more often, but I'm married to the Isle of Man at the moment. But hopefully give it a couple of years and then things will change.
That's the thing, isn't it? When you have your own business, there's so much to think about. It's not just the practical day-to-day stuff, is it? It's all the admin, the finance and everything, which I guess you two must have.
Yeah, all that side of things. And it's even just silly things like going home to try and train at night, or try and get up in the morning and do it, trying to fit your schedule in. And then have time for loved ones as well. It's a bit of a juggling act.
Yeah, something has to give, doesn't it? You mentioned having a couple of supporters on board this year. Who have you got?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I've got Kath Davies down at Rex Physio. She's supported me since I was about 13, 14. She's been great. She looks after the physio in the paddock at Manx Grand Prix, so it's great to have her on side, and my body's in good condition leading up to that. So I was only down there this morning having a little tune up, and yeah, I've got her on side. Obviously, BVS vehicles is the main banner going under. I've got Motorworld just around the corner there, the local parts supplier, so they do everything from your bloody paints to rattle cans to car parts to batteries, bulbs, a lot. So yeah, Motorworld has luckily come on board and helped me financially on that side. And Mickey McKeever at Electrical Design Solutions, actually growing up doing a bit of apprenticeship with him, but yeah, good friends with him, and he stepped on board and brought a bit. And another gentleman, Martin Jones, he's got a haulage and plant business. He's a good friend of mine, popped in, said I'll put some money in the pot, and yeah, it all is a big help when it comes to it, because it's not a cheap thing to go and do, and that's just getting there. We haven't started on the tyre bill, and I hope this weather sticks out and we will have to use lots of tyres, but yeah.
And I wonder sometimes if the people who support any rider really realise just what it means and what a difference it makes.
I think they probably do. Generally the people that are on board are good friends, local people, and they've built themselves up, and they know the value of a pound, and they know what it's like to help, and probably been in the position where they've needed help before. So it's nice to get support off genuine people, and not big businesses. It's just casted off to one side as such. But yeah, like, it's really nice having support of friends and financial support on that side of things. It just makes things a little bit easier.
At what point, Kyle, did you think and know in yourself that you were ready to put that first expression of interest into the MGP?
Last year, I'd say, to be honest with you. I'd say I've been racing 5 years on the bikes now, and after about 3 years, started getting a bit itchy. I was saying to the boys in the hedge, I'm going to do this. They take the mick, or you've had another beer now, have you? And then last year come round, and I was like, I could be doing this right now. And I just thought last year, a bit too soon. I just want to get a bit more time on the bike, and I definitely think it was the right thing to do. So when I put in for this year, I was happy and confident that I've done enough time on the bike. I've brought enough skills on board from both sides of motorsport to think, right, it's time to have a go at the mountain.
I'm always intrigued about where you were when you got the email through saying that you've been accepted. Do you remember?
No, I don't actually have a clue where I was. I'm crap with my emails, so I would have went in, it would have been buried in my inbox, or my personal ones anyways.
In terms of sorting out the physical team that you're going to have with you, obviously you're going to have to think about things like pit stops and all of that. How have you sorted who's doing what and who's going to be with you?
So I brought a couple of good friends in that are going to help me, and a lad called Joe McGee's going to spanner the bike. I've just dropped the bike down to AGR today to Andy's going to go through that. And to be honest, Andy's been with me by my side since I started, from all suspension tweaks, advice, etc. So Andy's going to strip the bike, bring it back to a bare frame and build it up for me. So on that side of things, I'm hoping I have a pretty trouble-free and just throw my leg over and not have to touch the bike myself too much. I can do it, but there has been known for things to drop off if I've been on the spanners. So yeah, and then I've got a couple of good lads coming from across that are going to do the pits and stuff for me. And I've also ridden a twin for Feralda Racing, so Feralda's going to look after all my stuff on that side of things. Luckily, I just need to put the helmet on, throw the leg over it, and we'll be good to go. So it's good to have all this stuff's always incredibly turned out, so I've good confidence and faith in him. So yeah, I'm looking forward to having a go on that bike yet. I haven't rode it yet, so hopefully get a couple of laps in it before Manx Grand Prix. And yeah, it's a nice little bike, so I'm looking forward to having a go.
And like you say, he's got so much experience, hasn't he? And you just having that confidence will just make such a difference when you're riding that one.
Yeah, I'm fortunate that the team surrounding me, out with people around me, I've got a bit of experience around the paddock and been there and done it before, so they're not virgin to it, so they can point me in the right direction, and I can have faith in them, because I do carry a little bit of doubt in things, and I do like to check it over myself. But fortunately, the people I've got around me, I know it'll be 100%. I know I can just pop my leg over it, and all I have to worry about is riding the bike.
And just slowing down enough in pits, yeah?
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm actually a bit nervous for that. Yeah, I've obviously never done a pit stop. I must admit, I was riding up the pit lane in Derby the other day, and I held the button down. I thought, this feels horrible. So I don't know. We'll see. I'd rather lose a little bit of time in the pits than lose a lot of time going too fast.
Yeah, it's tough though, isn't it? Because it's not really one that you can practice. So just getting used to it. But I guess, the first couple of times you go through, you kind of, get into the mindset of it. As long as you know where your crew are,
yeah,
wearing something distinctive.
I suppose there's a lot going on as well.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, hopefully that goes all well as well. It's like I say, the boys that are coming over, they've done a lot of the pits for fellow called Darren Cooper in Manx Grand Prix and TTs before, and they're no mopes, so they know what they're doing. It's just, I think, worry about myself more than them.
And what sort of rider are you when it comes to being nervous? Obviously, I mean, we're a little way off as we're talking at the moment, but I imagine when that date is looming, everything's going in your head. You mentioned sort of like opposite the vivid anxiety dreams and whatever. Are you quite nervous before the start of a big event like this?
To be honest, on a usual everyday basis of racing, I'm not that too nervous. I'm usually laughing and joking beforehand, and then the last 5 minutes beforehand, it's just like a switch changes in me, and I become very cut the crap. I can be a bit nervous in my helmet that I get to wound up to a point that I want to throw up, but I don't think I'll be like that come this event, because I think I want to win. I want to ride well or what have you on that side of things. I think come this event, it'll be just the nerves of the unknown and just getting out there, getting safe and just going and enjoying it. I've got no expectations that I'm going to get myself wound up thinking I'm going to be on the podium, I'm going to do this. I think it's just, like I say, get out, pluck laps. Hopefully the weather stays good and we just keep doing laps after laps after laps. And yeah, as long as I come back and have a smile on my face and everything's safe, that's the main thing.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you've mentioned Bray Hill a few times. I guess that must be hard to think about anything beyond that, because the concept of how quick you're going to go down there
boggles my mind. I drive to work. I'm in Onken, and on the way to work I go down Bray Hill every morning, and it just still boggles my mind that you can go flat out through the top and through the bottom. I still can't comprehend it. Obviously not been down there with speed yet, but I think it's going to be like dropping off the end of the world, but looking at it and assessing it every day. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it or not, to be honest with you.
And people talk about going around and just how hyper aware they are of surroundings, like able to pick people out in the hedges. And it seems bonkers that you can be going at that speed and yet almost find it quite meditative in some ways, because you just have to switch everything else off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't comment on that because I've not been there yet. I'm actually on a circuit. You've got plenty more time and you can pick things out, but I can't comment on the road side of things, but you come back to the paddock or you're speaking to the boys and Jamie be like, oh, was that you on the left at so and so? And you're like, you see you and they know where you are and they can pick you out and they can say they've seen someone or they smell something. But yeah, until that comes round, I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see what it's like. We'll have to ask you about that one after you've been around the first couple of times.
I reckon the first couple of times are going to be a bit of a blur and there's not going to be much of that. By the end of the week, it might be a bit different.
And are you going to have people that you know out and about? I mean, I don't know whether you're thinking about, it means like you say, you're not necessarily worried about timing, so pit boards and things like that won't necessarily be a thing, but are you going to have people out of various points?
I'd like to think there'd be friends out there watching and supporting. My mum will be out there, my dad will be out there, I imagine, and yeah, there'll be people out there watching that I'll know. It's the Isle of Man, you end up knowing everyone, especially in the motorcycle community, you end up knowing someone here, there or everywhere. You can't really go anywhere without speaking to someone, so yeah, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people out and about, and I'll just worry about the road and not them.
Yeah, you need to make sure they get some decent photographs, though, that you can share on the social media side of things afterwards, which, again, is a hugely important part of being a racer nowadays. Is that something that you have time to keep up with?
To be honest with you, I've been a bit slack on my social media this sort of time. I'm not one to write big emotional posts, but I think there's going to be hopefully plenty of cracking photos that I'll get shared about, and obviously I've got some great sponsors on board now that I need to share some content for and really appreciate and show off their business in what they've invested in me.
And we've talked a little bit about, you mentioned racing up at Derby, and I think, again, something that we often come back to is just how great it is. We've got like the Andros Racing Association over here, that sort of like grassroots organisation that is bringing through this next generation of riders.
Yeah, no, it's great up there. We've had a really good year up there this year, and they're a great supportive team. It's a good grassroots area, and they put on good things that you get support to get on the boat or to go away and race. And obviously we've got the Celtic races coming here this year, and they're really putting a big show on for it. So no, it's a good club up there. They're a good bunch of heads, and it's a real welcoming thing to get into racing. They say that's how I got into racing through the Andrews Club, and I've raced with a couple of other clubs, but at the end of the day, home's home, isn't it? So yeah, it's familiar and nice to go up there and be relaxed.
Obviously, MGP was on the bucket list. Is there anything else? Have you thought sort of further ahead?
I mean, get the Manx Grand Prix out of the way and just see how we go. I mean, I would like to in the future, if we get to a decent enough standard, to go to the TT. That would be the next goal. I've got no goals inside that, but to compete in the TT, I think would be amazing. But I think that'd be a few-year thing, and not done a lap yet, so I could be clean useless. I might not like it.
You might not like it.
I might get the Governor's Bridge and turn left and go home. You never know. Yeah, just one thing at a time. But yeah, I would like to potentially potentially go on to the TT.
And I suppose just finally, Kyle, it's weird, isn't it? You've grown up watching all of these people, and now you're going to be in the same paddock as some of those riders that you have grown up watching, and I wonder how that feels.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. It's not something that's really crossed my mind. I don't get too starstruck with too many things. Yeah, I think I see the paddock as a big community. It's probably a lot of friendly faces, and it's not celebrities and big stars in there as much as they are. More friendly faces in there, aren't they, at the end of the day?
We're in your BVS Vehicles office. I'm looking around for a big calendar with the dates on it for MGP. Have you got a countdown somewhere now?
Try not to remind myself, but no, it's in the book somewhere.
If people would like to follow you then on social media, when you do get your posts up and running, where is the best place for them to do that?
Probably best on my personal side, so it'd be Kyle Casement on Instagram or Facebook. That'd be the best thing to get me on.
How are you going to be spending the evenings over the next few weeks? Just chilling out? Not doing much?
Probably trying to get a bit of training on my belt, trying to get a few cars out the door, trying to get the decks, and spend a bit of time with the missus as well. So yeah, I think it'll be, and try and get a few laps in, more importantly. So yeah, I don't know, I honestly think I'll blink and it'll be here. So yeah, just try and get the decks clear and off we go.
And how does your partner feel about it all? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. She's very supportive on it. She's rock on that. I'm lucky on that front that she's not kicking and screaming saying don't do it. But I think when we originally got together, she understood my goals and what I wanted to go and do. She's been supportive from day one.
It's hugely important, isn't it? It really is. Well, we wish you the very best of luck, Kyle. I'm
Thank
just
you
looking
very
at all
much.
your cars here. Just wondering if there's anything in particular you'd like to sell me. Any decent ones?
We can cut you a good deal, I'm sure.
We will catch up with you after your first couple of laps of the MGP. So we wish you the very best of luck.
Excellent. We'll see you then. Thank you.
Kyle Casement. So the countdown is well and truly on now. Not long left until he takes that first trip down Bray Hill on closed roads. If you'd like to follow Kyle, we will put the links as ever on the podcast page. So do give him a follow, and we'll catch up with him after those first couple of laps and see how he's feeling. Thank you very much indeed for listening to this episode of Startline. Do take some time to find the riders on social media. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you'd like to get in touch with me and be part of the podcast in the future, you can email beth@startline.im. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.